I'm going to immediately start with the main news for today, which is the fact that if you came in as a visa waiver, if you came in as with your ESTA, and then now you are doing an adjustment status because you have a U.S. citizen that's petitioning you, whether it's your spouse, your parents, your children, or, you are in the process of adjustment of status. If the case gets denied by USCIS for whatever reason, and then now you are detained by ICE, you're not even allowed to get bond. And that is a breaking news. First, I just want to rewind back just even a few months ago. It would be impossible. It would be improbable. It is implausible where somebody who's going through the adjustment of status process, where you're married to a U.S. citizen, if the case gets denied, where after the case gets denied, you would receive a notice of intent to appear to go to immigration court. That by itself was already almost unheard of. Sure, the policy has been on the books since I think 2019 or so, where they wanted to say every time USCIS denies a case, they will give you NTA, but it just hasn't been the practice. Very few people got it up to a few months ago, where now, sorry, your case gets denied, you get a notice of intent to appear, now you have to go to immigration court. And then, not only are people getting NTAs, now you have to do directly a check-in with ICE, even before you go to court. Okay, that is extremely strange. So it went from not being able to file again to deportation to having to check in with ICE. And then last year around, I want to say October, midway through October of last year, suddenly people got detained during the marriage interviews by ICE for a few hours, for a few days. Again, unprecedented, unheard of, impossible. It happened, spreads panic throughout the country. We reported it. I was there when it happened. That was insane. Then you cannot get bond. Okay, that was really, really crazy. And just this week, what we saw was somebody who came in as a visa waiver, married to a U.S. citizen. Case got denied in front of immigration judge, pleaded for a bond hearing to be able to let out, to be able to to join the family again, and then to fight through the rest of the immigration case. The bond was denied. That is a new low. And the reason why it's such a new low is not because they say it was a case-by-case basis. They didn't say it was, oh, this individual is a national security threat. They said, you came in as a visa waiver. By definition, you signed away your rights to any immigration rights, including bond hearings. Visa waiver privileges is given to the best partnering countries of the United States, Canada, the United Kingdom. In this case, it was an individual from Ireland, okay? Visa waiver is given privileges to other Western European countries, to Singapore, to Japan, right? So all the crazy good allies of the United States Foreign Services essentially said, as a State Department, you know what? You don't need to apply for a visa. Just come in, enjoy yourself. All right, we're gonna waive the visa, just come in as an ESTA holder. But now you're in a situation with, okay, you come in, you get married to a US citizen, you file for adjustment. Oh, because you came in as ESTA, we're gonna deny you and we're gonna jail you for 6 months, and you waived your right to any sort of appeal. What the hell, right? That just fundamentally goes against the spirit of the visa waiver process. And so what we're seeing now is that a lot of people who are on ESTA are choosing not to do adjustment of status. We've already alerted all of our clients who are in the process, who are thinking about adjusting status. In every way they were able to do it in the past, but because of this case that happened, everybody is reconsidering. It is painful. Taken as a whole, now you're faced with this unfortunate circumstance where people coming from the best countries, supposedly, who are having some of the best cases, marriage-based cases, and now are in a situation where they could potentially be detained for, months and months without bail. I just don't think that's right. I don't think that's just. I don't think that's humane. I don't think that it's a good public policy, but that is where this administration, different agencies, and their many rules have led to. And it's causing a lot of people from these countries to say, okay, well, then I'm just going to do my immigration process abroad. And you might say, well, then that's great. That's how it should have been done this entire time. But the problem is the immigration system is so broken that this way, using a visa waiver, coming in, and then getting married, and then being able to file adjustment status, this quote unquote shortcut is already so long, so archaic, so broken, and with so much safety net that's already built in, that's already a big chore. And if you take this away, the original process and how swamped consulates are, it's going to be even longer, right? So you're breaking a system that's already broken. And the one, simple shortcut that makes it a little bit better, now you're completely trashing that as well without notice, by the way, right? This isn't something like USCIS and ICE announced to the whole world, right? Like Real ID, you announce it back in like 2004, and then you implement it 10 years later. This was like no warning, no notice. The individual gets picked up and puts in detention. Like, the rules are changed in hindsight. That's terrible. It seems so unjust. Sure, by the letter of the law, you signed this waiver for this one small minor thing that you did maybe 5-10 years ago, right? When people first applied for visa waiver, it was a long time ago. And this individual entered in 2009. Maybe he signed the waiver in 2007. And now in 2026, he's detained by ICE and put in jail, I mean, this whole thing would have been a different story if the court said, no, this is a national security threat. This is an individual case-by-case basis. But by the way the court ruled, now this applies as a precedent to all visa waivers across the country, so it just seems insane and unright.